Oh, the heart is very warm with you. Friday night, nothing gets past me, and we are live on YouTube just for you. Dinky Doo, and what a fabulous stream this promises to be. Welcome, welcome, welcome to every single one of you. Can I ask that we subscribe and that we thumbs up? Is it that way it goes, actually? And apparently it's to the right. I was saying it's to the left, but it's to the right. Welcome to live chat. Fantastic stuff. Hello, Kareem. I'm good, thanks, says Catherine Raven. Hi, Scottie. Everybody's on here. See you in half an hour, says Catherine. So there you are. Scottie, hello, how are you on this wet, moist day? Hello, Catherine, how are you? Says Kareem, on already. Hi, says the wonderful Alexandra Gonga. Hi, Scottie. Hello, Alexandra. Dinky Doo. Hello, Kareem, I'm good, thanks, says Catherine. Dinky Doo, Scottie, how are you? Says the wonderful J-Dog. Good evening, Scottie, says John Jones. And Chris Wilmot has joined us. Good evening, Scottie. Good evening, Chris. Lovely to have you all with us. Have we all liked the stream, please? Like. Hi, says Alexandra. Hi, Alexandra. How are you? Good to know you're with us. Good evening, Scottie, Tom, Mrs. McClue and Johnson. I said hello. Everybody, Glenn says hello. I've told them, Glenn. Wonderful stuff. Dinky Doo, Scottie, says Lee Fern. Welcome, Lee. Good to have you with us. J-Dog Respect, says Kareem. Absolutely. Respect. Good evening, Lord McClue, says the Archie 61. Good evening, Archie 61. Lord Archie. I say, wonderful name, Archie. We love that. Dinky Doo and all that nonsense, says Water Relief. No nonsense about Dinky Doo. You should know by now, McClue does not do nonsense at all. Heavens above, Water Relief. Perish the thought. All serious stuff. Heavyweight stuff. You know that. So there you are. So, no nonsense. A no-nonsense fellow. Good to see everybody here for 8 o'clock sharp. Chris Wilmot, absolutely. Are you on the Skype, says Glenn? We probably could be, Glenn. We do have it with us. I'll check the state of it as the evening progresses, and we will see what is what. There we are. Oh, yes. Right, I'll just pop this in, see what's what, and we might be able to get you on, Glenn. Who knows? Fantastic. So there we are. We'll see what is what. Evening, Scottie. How are you and Mrs. McClue and the wee Doug? Oh, Catherine, what fantastic. The wee Doug's just been out for a wee walk. And he's loved that. The tail going all the time. That's what we like. More thumbs up, more likes, please. Like. So there we are. It's great that everybody is here, and a very, very warm welcome. We had a fantastic stream this morning. And I think last night, to date, has got to be the finest stream I've ever had. I'll call in after Glenn for a wee chit-chat, Scottie, on the Skype. Yes, I'm just setting it up, Kareem. So there we are, and we can see what is what. All right, so I'll see if I can get it going, and I'll chat to you all while I'm doing it, of course. Never a dull moment on here, you know. Fantastic. There we are. Right. Everybody quite happy with the way things are going with the hour and everything? We've had a tremendous response. The only thing is I am short on subscribers. So there we are. I think a few dafties subscribed thinking that it was going to be just daft, and they don't like when they get told off. Lovely, says Catherine. Yes, absolutely. I was searching again for websites for you. And I found one called Crowdfire. It allows you to schedule posts to be sent to multiple social media sites at a time that you want. Now, I do have one of these, J-Dog, but I stopped using it because what they wanted to do, I don't know about that one, so I shan't comment, of course. But the one that I use, what they wanted to do was put all their branding on everything. So say it was McWhackle was the site. They're going, McWhackle tells you that Scottie McClue will be, you know, that sort of thing. Can't wait to get my hair cut, says Glenn. Oh, take your time, grow a wee bit. Josie Lappin, what is this? This is Scottie McClue, Josie. And this is the world's top broadcaster, the first lord of the internet, and the world's most humble man. Why don't you come and join us for an hour and chittity-chattity? That's what it's about. It's about human beings getting together and having social intercourse on social media. Hello, Scottie and Company. This is the wonderful Grady Beckel from Nova Scotia. My hair's tripping me up, says the Archie. Oh yes, watch. My grandmother could sit on her hair. She had it up in a big bun. Josie, welcome to paradise and welcome to the team here. Absolutely. I hope everybody in England behaves themselves tomorrow when the pubs reopen. By all means, enjoy themselves, but do it in a safe and responsible manner. Yes, absolutely. I had corned beef ash. I think you mean hash, and pancakes for tea. What you had, nice. Yes, very, very nice. Absolutely delightful. No Kool-Aid, it's okay, says Grady Beckel. Absolutely, yes. Fantastic stuff. Now, I'm still working on this. We're seeing how we're getting on. What stage did we get to? I ask you. Just give me a wee second. I need to centrate on this centrate just till we get started. There's a new word for you. So rather than to concentrate, to go against centration, I need to centrate. Wonderful. Right, we'll see what this does. See if this works. I'll try it. You can but try these things and see if it works. So there we are. So we'll see if it will let that sign in. What's this about, says Josie Leppin? It's about human beings. It's about chit-chats. It's about you. Yes, it's all about that. So there we are. Come and join us and see what you think. Well, J-Dog, cheers, Friday night, whoop. Had a workout earlier and walked the dog. You're a very, very fit man, Kareem. Well, that's the pubs open tomorrow. As they're drunk, they're going to find it hard to fight the urge to be human and hug missed friends. I absolutely, come on, big man, give us a hug. Fantastic. Forget all the social distancing. What's happened to the likes? I can't believe it. We're about 15 short already. Do people not bother? I put out a little short video today asking people to join me on TikTok, because if I can get 1,000 followers on TikTok at Scottie McClue, I can also live stream there as well. So that's another string to our bow, right? Never mind to my bow. But I wonder if people aren't good at actually translating into, do you know what? I will actually just go and do that for the big man. And that would be great. Same with subscribing. I don't bother with that. Please do bother with it, because this is different to anything else on the internet, as Josie will tell us after they've watched it. Fast Pat has joined us. Good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm a little late. Just had my little Mirren Marlowe's previous owners on the phone asking if I'd like to buy her sister. I'm in two minds. Marlowe is a great little fella. Oh, Marlowe. We love it. We Marlowe the kitten. Fast Pat's got a new kitten. And her sister. You're right on time, Fast Pat. Yes, we're only 8 minutes into the program, so you've only missed 8 minutes. I've been chilling the whole day. Thanks for asking. Not at all, J-Dog. A privilege and a pleasure to have you with us. Hello, Catherine, says Fast Pat. Fast Pat's greeting every day. Scottie, have you seen the sun recently? Says Alistair Campbell. No, well, yes. We have it, but I'm not a great sun worshipper. I love the sun and I love the moon, but I don't sort of go out and sit in the sun and burn my skin. So there you are. You see, that sort of stuff. I tend to wear my jackaroo. TikToks for young people and kids. Josie, absolutely. TikToks for everyone. And Scottie McClue is a young person, you see. I've just been on the earth for a long time. I like as soon as I log on, says the Archie. Excellent. Press back off the chat at the very bottom left to like. So there we are. So press back off the chat to like. So is that why everybody doesn't like, do you think, Glenn? Because they can't see the like button. The chat's over it. Nice to see all the gang here. I love the participation. Chris Wilmot, it's outstanding. Liked, says Fast Pat. Fast Pat, you're a top man. I've just seen you like it. Share, 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 folks. Can you see the likes as well, guys? Liked and shared. Scottie says, Kareem, absolute Kareem. I'm about 12 likes down at the moment. En ce moment. Scottie, I've been sharing your page to everyone in my village. Hope to see them all joining in. I hope so fast, Pat. Everybody in the world should be joining in. Is Josie still with us? Hi, my oldest daughter stays at Woodhall Spa, the home of the Dam Busters. Betty McIver's at Woodhall at Port Glasgow. Was that the home of the Dam Busters? Good evening, J-Dog and everybody, says Catherine Raven. For I am the village legend, says Fast Pat. They should do as I ask. Oh, Fast Pat, we all do as you ask. Cheers. Social distancing. That's what it's all about. So we can chat, but you don't worry about picking up the coronavirus. Good evening, Kareem. I hope you're well, says Fast Pat. I will just at the end of, I'm going to like Josie. That's so good of you. I'm glad you came and joined us for a wee bit, and feel free to dip in any time, but sample and stay, because it just gets better and better and better every day. And we've only been at it, what's this, folks? Number 44 or something. Let me see. We haven't done any sharing. What on earth's going on? Subscribe, like, and share, everybody. It is so important in the early days. We build up our subscribers. Pardon me, pardon moi, pardonnez-moi. So there we go, fantastic. Yes, because the chat's over at Scottie. So that's what's wrong. So guys, where you've got your chat, just backspace that in time to like the stream. Fantastic. And then off we jolly well go. Potentially, Scottie, depends on what device. Right, Glenn. I was in Mars earlier, had a great time, no one to pester you. In Mars, yes, Watery Leaf, you've been having a wee trip, have you? And I need a shave, Watery Leaf. Forget all that, it doesn't matter. Not a great place to raise your kids, though, says Grady Beckle. Where are we talking, Grady? Mars? No, in Lincolnshire, says Betty. Oh, Betty, I know exactly where you are. I was travelling through Lincolnshire. I'd travelled down from Sheffield. It was a lovely summer's afternoon. And this was when I was in Sheffield, what are we talking, 16 years ago now, I would think. Maybe 18 years. And I went out to have a nice run and had a sunroof in the car. Now, it was brilliant. So I went all the way down to Lincolnshire. And of course, it's wonderful. When you're from Scotland, you think, London, that's miles away. That take you hours, you know. But in actual fact, when you live in Sheffield, at the M1 at the end of the road, and London's 150 miles, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. Anyway, I went down to Lincolnshire and I travelled, and I saw the sign for RAF Cranwell. And I thought of Douglas Bader at the time. Fantastic. So there you go. Hi, Kareem. Hope you stayed in bed this morning. No rushing about. It's not good for us. No, we want Kareem to look after himself, although he's always doing these big workouts and stuff. Good afternoon, all from a very dreich Bermuda, says Jonas McSpurn. Yes, Jonas. Scottie, on the chat yesterday, you spoke of banana boats. I pulled a little history up. I'll try to post a link. Do, please. My Uncle Bob used to bring back bananas and esparto grass. And esparto grass was risky because if water managed to penetrate the hatches, it could soak into the esparto grass and change the ballast of the ship. It was quite dangerous. So you had to know what you were doing. And Bob did 7 times. He circumnavigated the world. Lovely, lovely man, a quiet man, just a very, very nice man. My little Marlo's sitting beside me, listening in. Think he's secretly enjoying. I'm looking to get a personalised bedded collar. If anyone can point me in the right direction, he'll be absolutely gorgeous, and he'll chase little things around the room. You know, stuff you think about, whoa, and he'll run and get it. You know, beautiful. Evening, Grady, says Catherine Raven. I saw a lovely photo before, Scottie, from 1959 of the queue for the Dunoon and Rothsay ferries at Wemyss Bay Station. Lots of happy, smiling faces in the queue, all dressed in suits and bonnets. When I was very active in the steamers, everybody dressed, and you dressed on a Saturday morning to go up the town. You wore a sports jacket and flannels. So there you go. And it was when jeans came in that they felt standards dropped. And it didn't matter where you were from, you put on your bonnet and your jacket and tie, you know, and went down the street, as they said, or up the street, depending on where you lived. Right, we'll go up the streets, and you met people, and you stood and you chatted, all that sort of stuff, all dressed. And the guys had their shoes all polished. They shone their shoes up. All these old soldiers from the Second World War, soldiers, sailors, and air people. Catherine been stressing out trying to get a quote for a new window. The current one is leaking and only 5 years old. It might still be under guarantee. There might be a lifetime guarantee, Kareem, and it might just be the seal that's gone. There's usually a wee rubber seal round these windows. Hello, Grady, says Fast Pat. So Fast Pat, you're talking to Canada now. Fantastic. That's what we like. Right, guys, move the chat and get the thumbs up. Okay? Move your chat and like the stream. Where you've got your chat, nobody hears a prat. Go on, show us your rat, Fast Pat. A bit of poetry for you all. Josie Lappin. Very good. A very nice piece of poetry. Might benefit from a little bit of work, but very good. And I'm still working on See a Cow on Yonder Hillock. Let's go up and ask for some milk. You know? Pat, good afternoon. This is Grady Beckel. Grady's in Canada. So he says good afternoon at 8 o'clock British summer time. I wouldn't put a collar on the cat. They can get caught in branches, fences, and all sorts of things and choke Pat. Yeah, but I think Pat's thinking about identification. Josie, what sort of poem is that? Says Fast Pat. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell, says Elton John. Grady Beckel. RAF, Kareem Zachariah, Josie Lepin. Yes, there we are, the Royal Air Force. I see where you're coming from, the district of Woodhall on Port Glasgow and Newark Castle. When I was wee, Betty, you couldn't actually see Newark Castle. I don't know if you saw the black and white film of the train journey from Gurrock to Glasgow, 66 minutes by steam train. And they passed my house all the time. So there you are. The longest tunnel, I think it's 1.5 miles, the tunnel, from Fort Matilda Station to Greenock West. Anyone remember Viv Lums that used to read STV News? Yes, you'll say very, very well. Very nice lady. So there you are. You're welcome, Fast Pat. Not want the wee guy to joke. Glad you've settled the name for the wee cat. So, Catherine, everybody's passing on their experience, which is wonderful. More likes. Move the chat. Move the chat. Move the chat. More likes. More likes. Why does Rudolph have a red nose? Is it the drink, or has he got a cold? So there we are. Well, that's an interesting one. Scottie, have you been in many of the Calmac fleet? Not the recent ones, I have to be honest. But I had an uncle that was very senior in McBrain's, and I can remember going on a big one. I went on a big holiday. It was 1965, and the Columba, the Clansmen, and the Hebrides were new. They came out of Hall Russell in Aberdeen in 1964. I think they were all built at Hall Russell. Certainly the Columba was, and she was virtually new. And the Claymore of what was the Claymore? Maybe 1953, would that be right? She was around at the time. The Lochbuie, which I'm wondering if the Lochbuie was an old air sea rescue launch or something like that. Can't remember. But the Lochbuie was a launch that sat at the steps at Tobermory Pier and took the mail over to Kilchoan and Mingarry. So there you are. Fantastic stuff. But I knew all the older ones, Duchess of Hamilton, the Maids. There we are. Did we get it right? The Maid of Ashton, the Maid of Skelmerley, the Maid of Cumbria, and the Maid of Argyle. Woo! What about that? Your beard looks sexy, says IRA. IRA, you'll need to change that title in case it upsets people. So there we are. So see if you can come on with another title. I'll remove your comment. I'll not give you a lifetime ban at the moment, but you do need to change that. No Dafties on, Scottie. Well, we just had one with a strange title. So there we are. So we'll just see. There's a couple coming on. What do you call an apology written in dots and dashes? Remorse code. Very good. My father was absolutely right up on Morse code. He was a radio operator in the paratroops. One of the last days out I had before lockdown was to Bothwell Castle, a lovely medieval castle. I know it well. On the banks of the Clyde, situated between Uddingston and Bothwell. I know it well. I used to work at the radio station, L107, just up the road. And I had a look at the castle. Incredible. J-Dog, what ba joke? Ha, says Kareem. The Claymore, 1955. Oh, 55. What did I say? 53. Denny. Good evening, Scottie. Good evening, Ian Quinn. There was a lovely model of the Claymore sat in the reception at McBrain's office in Oban. So there you are. I don't know if it's still about. I'm sure I heard it had come to Greenock. In fact, was Ian asked about it? Ian McCrory, the wonderful late Ian McCrory, the great Ian McCrory, lovely, lovely man. Every day I speak to him, Greenock, they say, oh, we're missing him. We're missing him. Glenn, hope you're well. What's in the menu for supper tonight? Says Fast Pat. Sorry, Scottie, got to dash for Din Din's lovely seafood pasta tonight. Au revoir. Au revoir, monsieur. Bon appetit. Sounds fantastic. Scottie, I've subscribed to a shaving club where you get one razor for a certain price. Then carry on if you want more supplies. Do you use electric or wet shave? Well, I don't shave at all at the moment, Glenn, obviously, but I've always been a wet shaver. I tried the electric, but it irritates my skin because I have psoriasis. And, of course, under here, you'll have seen many a time, a fair old look as if I've been shaving with a broken bottle. One poor soul came on one night and went, cut yourself shaving, son. And I said, no, psoriasis, son. He goes, oh, no, listen, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any harm. So, no, you've just got to think, though. So that was that. So wonderful. The Waverley at Tobermory, which is a stunningly gorgeous sight. Yes, Ian Quinn, she goes out astern. Where does she cant? At what point does she cant? And did they always go out astern? Did the Claymore go out astern? Would the King George V go out astern? I can remember standing on Tobermory Pier the day of Tobermory Games, and the King George V came in, and she was heeling right over. Obviously not right over, but everybody was standing waiting to go off. She was packed. And I'm sure the skipper would, have a wee job just getting her to go alongside when she was healing right over. Have you ever seen that, Ian? Fantastic. Scottie, a barber charges about £12 for a shave. Never, ever, ever had a shave from a barber. I wouldn't know, And when I started my haircut, it was £1 on a Saturday if you went along with your dad, who was 2 shillings, which was 10p, and you got one for 5p. And the barber had an old wooden chair, and he used to put a plank across it, and you sat up on it. So there we go. Fantastic. Just checking in. Scottie says, Sub-Zero Dinky Do. Lovely to have you with us, Sub-Zero. Welcome. Good evening, Watery Leaf, says Ian Quinn. I love a walk down the Clyde at David Livingston's. Catherine Raven, very nice. I'll tell you where I used to walk when Clyde was young. We would go walking in Châtellerault, the Great Park, the Duke's Bridge. Oh, fantastic walks by the river. All astern to Runagal Lighthouse, Scottie. KGV. Oh, God, magnificent. Oh, she was beautiful. And Ian, as you well know, when you stood on the deck of the turbines, you could have a word because they were it went like this. My experience of a turbine, standing on the deck, and you heard all the wash and the waves, and all you heard from the engine room was this. That was all. That was as loud as it got. Yes, Scottie, I couldn't get through on the Skype. What do you mean, Kareem? You must. Kareem has got to get through. Try it again. It says I've missed 11 of your calls. Try the Skype again. What, are we all Skyped up here? We should be. Oh, I think I know what's wrong, Kareem. Try it now, La. See if we can get Kareem up on the Skype, guys. So there we are. Try the Skype, Kareem, see how you go. There we go. I've made an adjustment. Aha, there you are. Ah, that's the stuff, isn't it? Dinky do. How are you, Glenn? Are you all right, La?
Yeah, I'm fantastic yourself.
Yeah, are you enjoying the streams?
Definitely am, yeah, loving them.
These are crackers, aren't they?
See my about Sweeney Todd, Scottie.
Sweeney Todd, let me just see what you've put up here. So there we are. Hello, Glenn, says Catherine. Dinky do Leafy, says Catherine. They're all saying hello to you. That's a beautiful spot, Scottie. Walked there myself, says Catherine. Remember the wet shave? If the barber slipped, he would do a Sweeney Todd. Oh, now you've got Turkish barbers and they seem to set fire to your head. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have, yeah. Scottie, do you prefer the original Sweeney Todd or the Johnny Depp one? Ben Kingsley.
Now you've got me there, actually. That's interesting. I like Johnny Depp, you see.
The musical one with Helena Bonham Carter, yeah.
Yeah, Helena Bonham Carter. What a fantastic actor she is. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. But I do like also the original. See, some of the black and white films, I don't know, have you ever seen the original 39 Steps, Glenn? Robert Donat.
I can't say I have seen
right, this is from the 30s. It's a classic. You've just got to make allowances because their film was superb. But, you know, it sort of just goes to black in between, you know, and then you get the next scene, you know. But it's brilliant.
Like I was saying to you overnight, Scottie, Talking Pictures has got old classic actors on and actresses, you know, from when they were first started out.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then Christopher Bean from Last at Summer Wine.
Oh, lovely crowd, actually. And who else did we have? Boy. Yeah, who else?
Ronnie Corbett.
Yep. And who else did we have in Last of the Summer Wine? When I was in Sheffield, they were filming it.
Brian Wilder,
I met them. I met them all, and then one night I thought, here's. I saw Frank Thornton. Remember from Are You Being Served? Captain Peacock, and he was in it, of course. And they were coming up, and I thought, there's Peter Sallis and Frank Thornton. Yeah. I'm going to get to meet them. And it wasn't them. There were two lookalikes. And they were absolutely brilliant.
Canny Scottie, innit? I'm identical. Some actors can be
so clever. But I'll tell you who I saw. You know, like the big blonde lady that, you know, used to be having an affair with.
Oh, you mean, yeah.
With, you know, who was she having an affair with? Was it not Harold? Was it Harold?
Yeah.
You know, the little guy that was washing the windows. Howard. That's
Little Howard.
Little Howard. Well, she was there and had a nice chat to her. And Barry with the glasses and the suit.
Oh, brilliant.
Barry, so I had to chat to him as well. And Barry was talking to somebody, and I said to the lady, she was fantastic. I said to her, oh, thanks for everything you do for us. Oh, thanks, love. That's very good of you. And she went, oi, he's talking to you. But I said, oh, sorry.
George and Military, you were in it as well, weren't you?
That's it. Fantastic. Yeah, I love all this. And, of course, our brilliant wee guy, with the welly boots, Compo. Now, Compo was, oh gosh, tell me the actor's name.
I'll Google it.
You've got to tell me the actor's name. Isn't it interesting? When we're talking live, who was he again?
Bill Owen.
No, what was his name? He was so good as well. That's dreadful. I should remember his name. Anyway, you remember?
That's it. Bill Owen.
Which one?
Bill Owen.
Bill Owen. Bill, was that the one you said?
Yeah, 100% Scotty, yeah.
No, you're 100% correct. Bill Owen. And Bill Owen was such a fun character. And he was once watching a movie with his family. And they're all sitting around the telly watching this film, right? And then he suddenly says to the family, he goes, hang on a minute, I think I'm in this.
His son came in it after, Scotty, didn't he?
Sorry?
His son came in it after.
Oh, right. Yes, he would Bill Owen. That's him, Lee Fly, wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think he has passed away, hasn't he, Bill?
He has, yeah.
And they had last of the summer wine did a sort of funeral for him as well. After he passed away. I remember that with the brass band. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's brilliant. See, I'll tell you, May Day down at Sheffield, I went out to Barnsley and I met Tony Benn. And we had a lovely chat, and all the brass bands. And I loved it. I used to just think, am I not just the luckiest man on God's earth? You know what I mean?
It's what I mean.
Yorkshire gets like that.
From our side of it, if the other cultures could sing from their side to our side, they're missing out on a lot on this guy.
Well, I think you hear stupid people go, Yorkshire, no, I can't be bothered with all that. Home and all that stuff.
Like city life and all that.
And you think, I don't think you've got a clue what you're talking about. These people are beautiful.
Yeah. They seem to think it's just countryside, don't they, Scotty? And there's more to it.
Oh, there's everything to it. Do you know what I mean? The people, the whole culture. And I still I loved going out and getting myself, a big pork and apple butty.
I know the place, because I'm not going to mention it first.
No, we're not mentioning it, but just up the road from Hillsborough.
I know the place.
Just up the road from Hillsborough, do you know what I mean?
There's about two or three of them, Scotty, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. And you could also offer roast beef. And I think I told you, my mate and I, my mate had come round to help us in the house, and he was doing some carpentry. And I said, I'll just pop out and get something for your lunch. Oh, that's lovely, thanks. And he's sitting there. He's sitting there eating this, going, hey, takes a lot of eating, does this.
And they've got the sausage roll. They've got sausage rolls and all, Scotty, with chocolate pastry.
It's beautiful. I love it. And just the whole thing, and the old church at the bottom of the road there as well. The very, very old church. Where I'm Ecclesfield.
I know what you mean, Scotty.
Beautiful, and then you can take a run out and see how the other half live at ToThe and ToThe.
Oh, definitely the posher side, the more rural sides.
You can have a drive up. You think, oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, wouldn't that be lovely to stay here?
Like I said, if we could do a tour guide on Yorkshire, we'd make a killing, wouldn't we?
Oh, it's just fantastic. I mean, the whole place, fantastic, beautiful. I mean, it's stunning. I mean, we've got beautiful, beautiful views in Scotland, as you well know.
Yeah.
But I think I've come out my front door in Yorkshire and just gone, well, will you just take a look at that, And I can
you can do it. Go on, Sky.
No, I was just going to say, I remember coming back from a public engagement. I'd been opening some shops and stuff. And I came back, and one of the girls from Hallam was in the car with me, and I said, it was just lights. It was just orange lights all over the hill. I went, what's that? And she went, Barnsley.
I can see the wind turbines from where I am.
You can see there?
The wind, the weather turbine, the wind turbines.
Oh, the wind turbines, yeah. Well, they didn't have them then, you see.
Yeah.
No, they didn't have them then. So amazing, absolutely incredible. Glenn, I'm going to have to dash and see what the nation is saying. It's always lovely to hear you. Respect to you.
And yourself, mate. Take it easy anyway. I want to have a shot back inside tomorrow, Scotty. I want to have a shot back inside tomorrow anyway.
Oh, smarting yourself up. You take care, though. Keep your mask on.
Think you do, Scotty.
Think you do, lad. Bless you. All the best, lad. What a top man. Right, that's our Glenn. That's wonderful, that is. Now, who have we got here? Oh, look what's been going on here. Catherine Raven, are you related to the Crow family? What relief? Don't be cheeky. You can be a cheeky boy sometimes. Was on social distance date with a lady, says the Dry Branch. We went for a jog together around Strathclyde Park. Very, very nice. Bill Owen, Peter Salas at a cruise in the Waverley from Bournemouth in 1986. The passengers loved them. Well, they were wonderful people. I can remember the Dad's Army crew were on a train going somewhere, and everybody was at the station to see them. And Arthur Lowe had to do, they were waving, hello, Arthur. And he rang the window, go on, get yourselves away out of here. Don't be ridiculous. And the rest of it, and we'll go, oh, how rude, and all the rest of it. And somebody said, what was all that about, Arthur? He said, you've got to keep the character up. And I know what he means, do you know what I mean? People get really disappointed, so although one or two at the front, oh, you were right, rude to us. You know, the rest would be going, it's brilliant. You know, Arthur, look, come, get yourselves out of here. Hurry along now. Look here. Just download Skype and Scottie.McClue to call Scottie.McClue Pat. Yes, Pat, you can come on. You're in the trusted list. The Dry Branch, I hope it works out for you. Good man, fast Pat. Hello, Gordon. Hope you're well. Hang on. Oh, Gordon Robertson. Hello. Hello, Gordon. Lovely to have you with us. And dinky do. The Comet was an interesting vessel when it was launched from Port Glasgow in the early 1800s. First of its kind as a commercial steamboat ferry service. I think, I mean, Ian Quinn will be able to tell me if I've got this right. But she looked a wee bit unstable in the water. Hang on, who's this? Kareem!
Hi, Scottie, how are you doing?
Fantastic, lovely to hear you.
Thank you, nice to hear from you too.
Kareem,
how's your day been?
Kareem, is this not wonderful? That we're live on YouTube to the whole world. Now, we're relatively small at the moment, small beers, you know, but we will grow and grow. I can see it when people start discovering it, because the problem with social media is there's so much of it, you know. And, but I mean, for us to be chatting and you know, to be talking to the world, I think that's fantastic.
Yes, it's got to. I think I won't name the company obviously because it's for the rails and that.
Yes.
But there's a new radio station, and I find it quite interesting. It's a new radio station which is not being played on the radio. It is only online and on an app, and that's it.
Interesting.
And I thought that must be the first, because I don't know any other radio stations.
No.
Its name is from an original which used to be, and I think they disappeared, but now obviously they're back.
Right.
And
they've got
a music station.
Right.
It's all music. I just find that quite interesting.
Yes, very interesting. I mean, I'm always interested in radio because I love the concept, but I do love the airwaves as well. You know, I think that's fantastic. And it's incredible how after the First World War, Kareem, because the BBC was set up in 1922, and we've only got one big radio service, public service broadcaster covering the whole of Scotland. In the 20s and 30s, they had stations in Dundee, Aberdeen, you know, all that sort of thing. So, you know, it's a thought. Edinburgh. So you had Edinburgh, Glasgow, Dundee, Aberdeen. I'm trying to think what Glasgow was. I think they began with SCO. London was 2LO. So when the BBC started broadcasting from London, they used to go, this is 2LO. They actually said that, you know, that was the thing. This is 2LO. And a huge setup. And Reith grew it from 4 people. He started with 4 people as the British Broadcasting Company. And this was the British government wanting to try and control the airwaves, you know? Yes, because otherwise they were anxious that if people just were allowed to transmit and receive willy-nilly, how do they control the information? How do you control people talking, you know?
If Scotland becomes independent next year, obviously there'll be a lot of changes and a lot of changes to stuff down south. How would that affect radio up here, or would there be more opportunity, do you think?
It's very funny you should ask this, because in 2014, You've heard me talk about Independence Day. You heard that clip last week. And in 2014,
Yes.
and that was on national radio, in 2014, I was widely tipped to run broadcasting for Scotland. You know, Scottie McClue widely tipped to run broadcasting for Scotland. You know, so if that did come to pass, I would be making a lot of the decisions. But I would do it in consultation with the people. You see the difference? So that when somebody said to me, you know, what we've had all my life, I've had a group of people doubting Thomases that everything you do, no matter what you do, oh, that's just rubbish. That's rubbish. You know, I had to block an idiot on Facebook last week for when I said, you know, I've done 28 years as Scottie McClue for the phone-ins. He went, yeah, and you're SH1T and you should chuck it. And now, what prompting that idiot psychologically to say that? It must be that he's very jealous, you know? Yeah. Otherwise, why would you say it, you know?
Or he doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand. Yeah. Or the other one is, I was listening to Scottie McClue last night. Oh, he's an idiot. Do you know, that sort of stuff. And that's what you get. But you have to not be fazed by any of that because it doesn't matter. Their opinion doesn't matter. But if you then, in consultation with, like we are doing on here, by and large, this is the intelligentsia. And if you had programs, you said, well, we will plan what you like, but we'll also give you what you deserve. Do you know what I mean? Because if you give the public what they want, they will reward you with their viewership. And that's what's happening even on YouTube in, at the moment, a small way, but it will go massive.
So effectively back then, if that did happen, you would be, let's say it, a big boss.
A big boss, yes. But I would do it talking to the people because I have no time for this hierarchy set up. I can remember a friend of mine, and when I would call in to see him, he couldn't get behind his desk quick enough. And what he was saying, he was doing it subliminally, subconsciously, I think. He was saying, I'm the boss in this conversation, not you. And he was putting himself behind his desk. But as you know, a desk is actually a barrier. And for instance, somebody like yourself, I'll almost guarantee a really, really good teacher like yourself will be behind your desk for the minimum of time. You might sit at it if you're working. You might sit at it to take a register, to look up some stuff. But by and large, you will be out there among the young people teaching, you see, and you will do that face-to-face. Am I not correct?
Well, as a PE teacher, I don't have a desk.
Yes, that's right. You'll have a wee office in that corner.
If I'm in a classroom, I can't sit down at a desk. It's alien to me.
So you'll take the register, you'll talk to the young people, and then you'll be up on your feet talking directly to them. You know, because that's teaching. Yes, do you see what I mean? That's the thing. Yes. The day has gone when teachers taught by saying, I am the big cheese and you are nothing. You know, that was what we used to get, you know. You need to learn, you know, all that sort of idea. And it's only if a young person's really, really disrespectful or really cheeky that you have to sort of pull them up for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all about thinking skills now, trying to get them to think.
Yes, getting them to think, getting them to work, getting them to use their minds. And of course, their minds are brilliant. I mean, anything goes wrong with your phone, they can sort it in 2 seconds for you, you know?
Oh, yes. You know about technology than us, and we're meant to be teaching them it.
Yes, absolutely. It's wonderful. That's the whole idea. And I think, but that's, you know, you are very good at what you do, Kareem, and I'm always saying that to you because I've heard you talk, you know? Fantastic. So there you go.
I can be quite passionate at times. People have said that about when I talk about politics as well. I can get really right into it.
You need to be. I was very irked, and I'm quite sure it was meant when, you know, we had the PM this week talking about devolved administrations rather than using the word government. Now, the same person, I'm quite sure, would be very upset if the first ministers of the devolved governments started calling it the English administration, And I thought for a while that England needs to start fitting in with the rest of the UK, very important. So we need to get away from that childish, that's offensive to young people. So I won't use the word childish, but I might stretch it to puerile. We need to get away from that puerile attitude from people who are supposed to be world leaders. Yeah?
Yeah. Well, what I start to say now when I'm writing in Facebook and that to people is Boris Johnson is effectively the first man of England, but he's the Prime Minister of the UK.
But Prime Minister is a courtesy title. People forget that. Can I get rid of the dry branch here? The dry branch, 2 seconds, Kareem, stay where you are. The dry branch had said something a bit rude. So I'm going to remove it. And the dry branch, shall we ban the dry branch or put them in timeout?
I read
ban. Ban. Yeah. There we are. Bye-bye, dry branch. There we are. So he's gone. No, we can't have that kind of nonsense, Kareem. Sorry. So yes, Prime Minister is a courtesy title, you see. There's not an official title of Prime Minister. First Minister of Scotland is an official title. The Prime Minister of the English administration is the First Lord of the Treasury. Yeah, and that's what it says on the letterbox of 10 Downing Street. I've been there many, many, many times, and I haven't been inside, but I've been there many times. In the days when you could just stroll up and down Downing Street,
Yeah.
Fantastic, isn't it?
I think they're playing a dangerous game. I do think they're playing a lot of mind games.
But the mind games don't wash because everybody gets it. So somebody's obviously had a word with the the Prime Minister of the English administration, if we want to play that game, and said, listen, stop saying Scottish government, say administration, and that'll maybe reduce their status in the minds of people, and try and give the impression that we subsidise them. Not, for goodness sake, don't talk about how Scotland subsidises us and we don't want to bite the hand that feeds us. That sort of stuff. So that's the advice that's going out. Now, I don't think the First Minister of Scotland is petty enough to play that sort of game. But I think everybody has to be aware that it is being played, And I'm not political, as you well know.
Yeah, yes.
I am absolutely apolitical. Yes, I'm only interested in the country. I'm interested in the economy of the country, and I don't want the devastation that will be caused by Brexit if we finally did leave the EU, which is looking in doubt at the moment. But if we did actually leave the EU, I don't want the devastation, the economic annihilation caused by that to be blamed on COVID virus, which has only been about for 3 months.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. As I said, for next year, if this referendum comes around, I will be out campaigning. I'll be doing so much more than I did in 2014 because I feel very passionate and strong about it, and for us as a country to move forward.
As I've said before, the true separatists, because people like to use the word separatists to insult people who seek an independence for Scotland, and the true separatists are in Westminster because they're doing everything that makes Scotland want to say, we want to be run on a much, much firmer basis than this. We want far more decisiveness. We want localised politics. We want control over our own dosh. And that's not too much to ask, Kareem.
No, it's not. I say to people that when it happens, I think for the north of England, I think it's going to affect the north of England so much more in terms of trade compared to what it is just now. I really think there's a lot of opportunity for entrepreneurs as well.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be a lot of business.
Scotland needs to be repopulated. I mean, the Scots, one of the destinations for the Scots was Hong Kong. It's the Scots that set Hong Kong up. And both the leading families commercially in Hong Kong were Scots, you know?
Right.
You know, that's stuff. If you look into the background, Jordan and Matheson came from Stornoway, I think.
Right.
And Jordan and Matheson, and they controlled all the banking as well. So you'll see all that background to it. Fascinating.
Right. I'll need to have a wee quick search on that one.
Have a look at that.
Listen, thank you very much for taking my call again.
It's a pleasure and privilege, and we'll say dinky-doo, and we'll get a clip. I think I might stay on because I've just realised that's 50 minutes gone already. So I think out of respect, we'll stay on a wee bit, and I've got a nice clip for you.
Thanks very much, Scottie. Listen, I'll see you later. Okay. Thanks for the
Kareem, ta-la. Top man. Right, there we are. That's our Kareem. What a super guy. How would I rate the call? Top stuff. 5-star. There we go. Fantastic. Now, let's get back to what was happening there. We had to lose Dry Branch because we were getting a lot of filth. Scottie, I'd love to participate. Sorry, I'll put my teeth back and say sorry about fastback. Scottie, I'd love to participate on a Skype call one night, but unfortunately I'm useless with technology and no idea how to use Skype. Now, Fastbat, I don't know who's told you you're useless with technology, but that's a load of rubbish. You're a very, very smart man. You can pick anything up. Skype is very simple. You download the free package. You then put in that you want to call SCOTTIE.McCLUE, and off you jolly well go. And that's it. So you're not useless with anything, and nothing is beyond you, Fastpat. If you can handle an Atkinson and a Gardner diesel, a double D clutch and a crash box, and no power steering, you're bang on with technology. Absolutely. You've nailed it, as we say. There we go. Ian Quinn, wonderful. Yes, absolutely. Gordon Robertson, we've done all that. Dry Branch, I hope it works out for you. So there was a Dry Branch, definitely had to go. Shocking. I'm having a Vietnamese curry tonight. What are you having, Scottie? Catherine Tambo. I'm not going in for anything too heavy tonight because I overdid it with the pasta. I cooked the lot, and then we had to eat it. Tambo, I treated myself to steak and tatties tonight. That curry sounds delicious. Absolutely. Vietnamese steak and tatties sounds good, says Tambo. Hello, Jay. Still miss your wee face, says Catherine Raven. Jay's a good friend of mine, top bloke. Missing you too, Angel, says Tambo. I love hearing what everybody has for their dinner on here. We should all share our favourite recipes. It was homemade mushroom soup and homemade cornbread for me today, says Delish. Delish. Wonderful delicatessen, Delish. But I was thinking, yes, I don't mind that at all. Not a bad idea. Having said that, I got a bit fed up with people just putting their tea on Facebook every night, just about to eat this. And you thought, I really touch that. There you go. The ethos is a disparaging one. The tonality is that of banality. The pathos remains ambivalent. Grady, are you not just a man of letters? Top stuff. Grady, wonderful man. Jenny plans to go to Ireland yet? I still say you should turn the house into a quaint little B&B. Good luck with that. Now that you can travel. Yes, there's quite a few changes in the lockdown, but I hope we don't get a spike. Do be careful. Chris, delish, you're making everyone hungry. No plans for Ireland yet, says Tambo. I'm going up north for a bit soon. Very nice, Tambo. You take care. Scottie, whatever happened to the one shoe that used to frequent the roof of bus shelters? Now you're talking watery leaf. You know, and also the trainers that you used to see over a wire. That sort of idea. Nicola's a fine example of great leadership, says Catherine Raven. Catherine, I cannot argue with that. I was watching her tonight on her news conference. No bumbling, looking very, very smart. Very, very neat shoes. Have you noticed she always wears quality shoes? So there you go. Two great Skype phone-ins tonight, Glenn and Kareem, both interesting and knowledgeable guys, which made for two top calls. Keep it up, chaps. Chris Wilmot, thank you. Perhaps you'll call us, Chris. Thanks, Chris, says Glenn. Tell me more later. I'm thinking of going up north as well to see all the places spoken about. On here, says Catherine. Fantastic, Kareem, says Catherine. Excellent, Kareem, says Grady. Scottie, put those dental stops back in, would you? I do my teeth out. I'll do the show with my teeth out for you. Scottie, if we took some gorgeous photos of Scotland or Yorkshire, we could have some amazing wallpaper on our phones or devices. Yes, I will show you where I used to live. Throw the extra pasta out for the birds, Scottie. I've eaten it, Catherine. Too late. Throw it out for the ravens. I'll bet you get that all the time. Do you ever get fed up with it, or do you think, no, it's a beautiful name, I don't mind? And I once met Mr. Crow, a gentleman called Crow, and he used to answer the phone. He went, Crow speaking. There were, and a piece and steak slice. Good, says Alistair Campbell. A steak slice in a piece. What a man, Alistair, you're some man. Jean Ferguson, who played Marina, was Howard's girlfriend. She passed recently. Yes, it was Jean I was talking to, and she was lovely. And Barry was there that morning as well. It's a lovely sunny morning, and they had a chuck wagon. I'll tell you where they were filming, Glenn. They were filming out, do you know Watley Hall? They were filming out there, out just past Chapelton, out on the Manchester Road. Would be cheeky to ask for a wee tune in the keyboard tonight, Scottie. Love your music, Chris Wilmot. Nothing you ask is cheeky. Of course, I can give you something on the keyboard. Maybe take a peek at your Skype messages, would you, Scottie? I will do, Grady. Yes, I'll have a look tonight. Scottie, does learning and teaching affect discipline, or does discipline affect learning and teaching? I was asked that at an interview. Learning and teaching comes first. Yes, the discipline, you need to have order. So even the word discipline, you have that quite loose. But I would say discipline is really just, for instance, I don't think we need to tell a young person anything. I think we need to ask them. So instead of saying, I told you to stand there, you say, I asked you to stand there. So it gives them, and why did you not do it? So I told you to do that. You know, they could give them an out. They could say, yes, but I'm not going to do everything you tell me. You know, but I asked you to do that. They would then have to say, but I don't have respect for people. You see? And nobody's going to admit to that. So there we are. So yes, very, very interesting. So the discipline, I think that's woven into teaching and learning. Discipline is part of teaching and learning. And if you think this person's not working because they're not organized, so discipline can cover things like, are they well organized? And something I wanted to ask you tonight, says Tambo, Scottie, and I forgot. Tambo, I do it all the time. People say, you never finished your story. That sort of idea, you know. SCOTTIE McCLUE, the one and only. How are you tonight, my friends? This is the wonderful Will Hughes. Will Hughes, lovely to have you with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think we're just about out of time, guys, but I think we'll stay on. Those of you who want to go, obviously, you're more than entitled to go. Everybody's entitled to go. But I think we'll stay on a little bit tonight because the hour has passed so quickly. There we are. So another few minutes won't do any harm. Anybody up for that? Up for a few minutes more? So there we are. We're wonderful, Will Hughes. How are you? I want to know. Tambo, see if it comes back to what you were going to ask me. Stay, stay, stay. More McClue's needed, says Will Hughes. Well, we'll stay for a little bit, Will, and see. if the audience are up for it. I'm always game, says Grady Beckle. Wonderful, Grady, yes. I'm up for some overtime, Scottie. Right, Chris will admit it is Friday night, so not everybody's dashing to work. Scottie, did you have a wee clip? Extra time, says Magnus. Alistair Campbell's up for it as well. Right, guys, let's do it. We're just coming up to the hour now, so we'll press on for a few minutes more. Kareem, those tricky questions. Yes, well, they do ask an interview, but the question isn't the most important thing. The answer is, and of course, it's to see what you're like, where you put discipline and all that sort of idea. But I would say, and I don't know if I would ever get the job, that the discipline is worn into its part of teaching and learning. There, it goes along with it. So in other words, we don't talk when the teacher's talking. Why is that? It's rude. Yes, it's very, very rude. It's mega rude. But it also prevents all the stuff that we need to get through. So there we are. We want to get through. Kareem, tricky questions. I'm very well, thank you, Scottie. Just finished walking my doggo. Now enjoying McClue's late night show. I am late, yes. You are 1 hour late, but there's no punishment or sanction for being late because you've already suffered enough by missing an hour of the show. We all know if you miss a moment of McClue, you miss a moment of life. I missed the first hour. Rubbish day. Susan, we need to make your day better. The lovely Susan Forreston from Lancashire. She's a lassie from Lancashire. So there you are. And, if you've had a rubbish day, we need to make it better. We need to heal your day. Fantastic. So a good dose of Scottie McClue is what you're needing. That's what I say. There we are. Now, where did we get to? Oh, yes. We're looking for a clip. Right. Well, let's see. Guys, we haven't even done any sharing tonight. What kind of people are we? My goodness. I did a TikTok earlier today. For those of you who are on TikTok, follow Scottie McClue. I've got 700 followers, just under, and if I get 1,000, so that's 300 of you, then we can live stream on that as well. And we can tell people all about the YouTube and what have you. So you will see that TikTok on YouTube. All right, it's there. I need to share. Share. You need to share as well, guys. Come on, we must. Let's have a huge share since we're staying on. Got a wee bit of time. We're over the hour anyway. So there we are. So I'm going to share to YouTube and we'll just put live now. Live now. Okay, that's gone on to YouTube. Says live now on it. I don't know why I put live now. It actually says live now. And can we put it on to Facebook? Let everybody know we're live on Facebook. I'll just put live now. So there we are. That's gone. Excellent stuff. Share it. Do we share to your story? Yes, we do. Clickety click. And I'll just put live now. There we are. Live now. Yes, excellent. And I'll post that on Facebook. Let everybody know. Oh, Susan, have a lovely night, says Catherine. So there we are. Yes, if you're on a rubbish day, we need to have a lovely night. No punishment. What's this kindness I see from my Lord? Will Hughes, your Lord is looking after you, your Lord and Master. Yes. So there we are. Yes, no punishment. No. We don't whip the wizard anymore on here at the moment. All this could change, of course, as the show develops. We introduce features. People think, I like this, I'm up for this. I was there at the start. McClue is massive on YouTube. Right across social media, McClue is massive. I can post a tweet and get 27,000 views. What about that? I said to a big boss, I said, I wish my Twitter account was a radio station. He said, so do I. Thought that was rather good. Thought that was very quick of him. There we are, sharing a page. Fantastic. Right. So that's that. Wonderful. 27,000 for one tweet. There we are. There are television stations would absolutely just worship an audience like that. And yet they want Dinky Doo Scottie and a kiss from Susan Forrest. Dinky Doo Susan. Lovely to have you with us. This is a haven for anybody who's had a rubbish day, says Chris Wilmot. Take it from me, this is the perfect escapism for the world. Yes, Chris. And that's what we do. That's why we don't want to be talking about stuff that gets us down. There's not enough of this on television. All we've heard is coronavirus, coronavirus. Now, I know we have to because it's serious business. It's dangerous. It's very, 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 very dangerous. But having said that, we need time out for us. Scottie McClue's YouTube channel. Time out for top people. Fantastic. I'm going to post on one. Anybody on Reddit? You can follow me on Reddit, Scottie_McClue. Have we all subscribed? I'm down on subscribers because the numpties that have subscribed unsubscribe if you give them a tough time. They panic, you see, they can't take it. How would they have coped on Scott FM? Listening to McClue, giving it laldy. My goodness me, I ask you, Scottie, can I have your number? Will Hughes, you don't need a number. It's Scottie.McClue on Skype. You know, so there we are. Fantastic. Wonderful. There we go. Right, that's gone out there. I've just posted it up on the Reddit. I love the following on here. Everybody's so sound. Best thing on the YouTube. It's wonderful, Catherine. Trust me when the word gets out. And we just have to thole it at the moment. Guys, you need to share. You need to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. Scottie McClue, First Lord of the Internet, the world's top broadcaster, the world's most humble man, is live just for you. And what did I put out? I put the TikTok one out today. I'm sure you'll have seen it. I actually put it out. So there we are. Wonderful, wonderful. Have I got that one? So let's just see. It's very short. Scottie McClue. And Catherine has chosen our clip for tonight, and I think you'll like it. In fact, I know Kareem, if you're still with us, Kareem, you will absolutely love it. Right. Are we ready for a bit of this? Now, this is a TikTok, and I did it in 15 seconds, right? So it's 15 seconds. So if you've got 15 seconds of life, right, then you can hear this one. And I'll play it for you, see what you think. Right. Okay. So we've got that. And hello, my hearties, Dinky Doo. It's just me, Scottie McClue, the First Lord of the Internet, the world's top broadcaster, and the world's most humble man. Can you please follow me on TikTok so that I can live stream? Thank you. Follow me now. There we are. That's all it is. All right. Have you got that? There you are. It's at Scottie McClue. So if you can do that, that would be brilliant. Now, we were looking for a clip. Kareem,
this is a Helen Fresh box with everything you need to turn these ingredients.
Whoa. So there we are. Fantastic. Right. Hey. Okay. Hello, my hearties. Dinky Doo. It's just me, Scottie McClue, the First Lord of the Internet, the world's top broadcaster, and the world's most humble man. Can you please follow me on TikTok so that I can live stream? Thank you. Follow me now. Not too difficult. It's not rocket science, is it? Feel better already, Catherine, says Susan. Do you remember Captain Neil Campbell? There we are. Said John Gray on the George. Said John Gray on the George. Captain Campbell on the George. I remember Captain Colin Campbell in the Columba. There we are. And I'm trying to think, was Captain McLean, was Rob McLean not on the George at one point? Was it not the George you got the DSC with? So there you are, Dunkirk, was that right? So glad you're feeling better, Susan. Where's your perfect dream holiday, Scottie? I just like going up north. Me too. Lossy Mouth. Oh, beautiful. That made me happy, says Catherine. We're all here for you, Susan, says Chris Wilmot. Scottie, I'm outside shouting my wains in. I've got you talking in my pocket. Sub-Zero. Fantastic. Get the wains in. And you come, I'll not tell you again. It's great being psychic, Scottie. You can tell what's coming. Oh, we know what's coming there all the time, Watery. Get him a loudspeaker to tell the wains to get in. Yes. Put me on the speaker and we'll tell the wains to come in. The Jaws was a brilliant, atmospheric, stunningly beautiful steamer of Old Oban. What a lovely time to have been around. Absolutely coming in for the Tobermory Games, playing Jimmy Shan records. And you told me it was a record player they had, and they were all scratched. Yes, Scottie, I'm here. Thanks for that. I'll say good night. Are you on Saturday night, only 8 p.m.? Good night, Kareem. We're staying on a bit. If you want to stay on, I've got a clip for you. But if you need to go, you go, sir. Not a problem. There we are. You do what you like on here. That's the beauty of it. You can join Scottie McClue, and we're very pleased to see you. If you don't like us, we're just as pleased. Good night, Kareem. Take care. See you tomorrow. Dinky Doo, says Catherine. Hello, Scottie. I'm back from Dindins. J-Dog, we thought we'd stay on a few minutes because the hour passed so quickly. So we've stayed on for a wee bit because it's Friday night. I must dash, I'm afraid, Scottie. An early start awaits for work in the morning. Thank you for another wonderful show and all you do for us. Night all. Chris Wilmot, take great care of your dear self. Top man, Dinky Doo. Night, Chris. Can everybody say night to Chris? Alistair Campbell says, Scottie, have you ever crossed the Minch? I love the fiddle tune, Crossing the Minch. But no, I have never crossed the Minch. I haven't gone on board the ships long term, so I haven't gone over to Orkney and Shetland. I haven't taken the McBrains ones to Barra or to Lewis and Harris. So I've never been, but I'd like to see, is it Amsuni you pronounce? Amsuni, the castle on Harris. Amsuni Castle. There we are. Beautiful, beautiful castle on Harris. Fantastic. Now, let's see if we can look up Radio Scottie McClue. Catherine was saying she'd like to hear a wee bit of the Scottie McClue radio show. So there we are. And we'll see what we can get. I'll see what comes up here, guys. Oh! There's one there. I wonder if that was the one. We'll pop this one. I'll see what happens. See what comes on here. This might be the one that Catherine was talking about earlier. And I shall see what happens here. Right. So there we go. Now, see what we've got here, guys. Yes. Okay. So what am I looking at? A bit of sound. Shall we turn up the sound? Nothing's a problem to old McClue. Now, if it's too loud or too quiet, you let me know, big style. Cheers, Kareem. Good call-in, my guy. Yes, Scottie, I'll listen and stay on. Top man, Kareem. I did not know you were doing a 2-hour stream tonight. Oh, J-Dog, we haven't said 2 hours. We just said a few minutes longer. I've not been to Lossiemouth. Pitlochry's my favourite. Been to the Soldier's Leap. Ooh, Tambo, I used to live in Pitlochry. I worked at the theatre. Night, Chris. Thanks, J-Dog. Alistair, Loch Seaforth of 1947 was the bee's knees on the Stornoway run. Now, did she not call in at Tobermory, Alistair? There we are. Do let us know. Very, very important. Maybe Mr. Quinn will be able to fill us in the Loch Seaforth. She did cargo as well, didn't she? Dinky Doo, Scottie. Good night there, Chris. Good to have you on board. Absolutely, Grady. Good night, Chris, says Susan. Good night, Chris. Sleep well, says Catherine. Well, that's first for both of us. Hi, Robster. Well, hope it's the one with Linda and Anna. Well, I think it might be. Let's just have a wee look. Holidays, you know what I mean? And we're doing Sunday nights. A bit of a backlog, and we need to speak to every single one of you. Too loud. Off I go to the phones. Linda.
Hello, Scotty. Where have you been?
Hello, my darling. How are you? Well, as you know,
Very well.
well, we had a wee bit of technical trouble, and then I decided to go off on my holidays.
Oh,
So the big boss and I had to come to an agreement on the holidays. You know what I mean? So that's that. So and we're doing Sunday nights from now on. So it's the Sunday nights.
Friday, Saturday.
No Friday, Saturday, because they quite like the music on a Friday, Saturday, although we like our chat. I don't want to make it music versus chat, you know. And we got our so just Sunday, we got our audience figures, and they're very, very good.
Good.
So everybody's quite chuffed with that, you know. So there it goes, Linda. But I think what we'll do is we'll make the Sunday nights an absolute cracker, you know.
Yes,
We'll
Yeah,
just
I haven't rehearsed anything. I didn't know if you were going to be on.
Oh, no, I don't think you need to rehearse anything. It's just a question of getting that big box up there, you know, and strapping it on.
Now, I was going to ask you, when Anna was in the hospital, I had played the Dark Island tune.
Yes, and she loved
She
it.
said she was sorry that she missed it.
Oh, did she not hear it?
If it's all right with you, I was going to play
Oh,
the
for
Dark
Anna,
Island.
yes, anything for Anna. So it's just not a problem. The Dark Island, and have you got another wee treat up your sleeve as well?
No, I've only got the Dark Island in it.
Well, listen, it's not only the Dark Island. That's pretty impressive, dare I say. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the wonderful Linda, one of our top accordionists, and she's going to play, dedicated to the lovely Anna, the Dark Island. Take it away, Linda.
Thanks.
That was just beautiful, my darling. That was fantastic. Absolutely gorgeous. And what a lovely, lovely welcome back for me. And a lovely start to the show, courtesy of your dear self. And Anna will just have loved that.
She loves the accordion.
She doesn't, but she's such an angel. She loves anything creative and wonderful, like your good self. So
Wonderful.
she found you for us.
That's right, so she did.
So she deserves a wee dame hood for that, you know what I mean? Oh, that was lovely, Linda. Thank you so much. Are you keeping okay?
Yes, just can't speak. I can't take this heat, Scottie.
Oh, I'm under the heat. Listen, I was puffed out the day, and I thought, I need to go away and give the car a wee wash, you know, and I thought, I can't be bothered. And I said to a dear friend of mine, I said, why do you think I'm getting, you know, I was wondering in case there's something wrong with me, you know. And she said, no, it's the heat. You can't get in this heat, you know.
Oh, I know, it's too hot.
It's like being up the jungle, you know. I'm expecting Windsor Davis to come out and say, ain't half hot, mum. To remember him, he was amazing. Thanks very much. Bless you, darling. Have a lovely week.
It's lovely to have you back. We've missed you.
Oh, you're an angel. That's what you are. There you go.
Missed you very much, Gordon.
And well, I missed all you guys. You know, it's a case of getting us in touch.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
Bless you. Thanks, Linda. We'll catch up soon.
God bless.
God bless you, Angel. Bye-bye now. Thank you. That was lovely. The Dark Island with Linda. Yes, fantastic. Right, Tom.
All right, Terry.
Hey, Blighty Tom. How are you?
Not bad. How was your holidays, mate?
Holidays were wonderful, Tom. Absolutely, yes. Did you miss me, no?
No, I didn't.
No. Well, I didn't miss you either, just so you know, but don't take it personally.
Yeah, see how it was in the accordion there? It was pulling my ears.
Oh, you're terrible, you are. You're a shocker. Stick your tongue out and say ta-ta. Ba-ba. Right, there we go. That's him. He's gone. Now, Mr. Jacks.
Hello, Scotty. Bye.
Ah, Mr. Jacks. Bye. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Listen.
And it goes on in that vein. Fantastic. There I was. That the one you wanted, Catherine? Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And Linda was the lady that played the accordion in Tutti Frutti. And she was apologising, and she had absolutely nothing to apologise for. She was suffering a wee bit from arthritis in her hands, which for an accordionist is a tough gig. So there we are. So there you are, Catherine Raven. That was it. The Henrys of 1964 on Harrison Used Run. Brilliant. Dear Captain Archie McQueen from Staffin was her master. Yes. Now, was there not, in the very early days, a McQueen involved in the paddle steamers, wrote a book? Is that right? Yes, at the same Captain Williamson, and I'm sure there was a McQueen involved as well. Fantastic, but lovely. Staffin and Skye. So many of the skippers were quite brilliant. I posted one day, McBrain's Calmac, just about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, were apologising for, they weren't sure about the service because of the terrible weather. And I said, you guys have nothing to apologise for. You've served the north of Scotland and the islands and the west of Scotland for 150 years or whatever it was, you know. I said, thanks for that, Scotty, appreciated. Because everybody's obviously a moaning mini when they can't get their boat somewhere. But there's also a very famous, I think it might be in the Bank of Scotland head office, a very famous painting. Ian Quinn, you might know about this. It's called No Call at Call. And it was, I think, perhaps the Hebrides, and she just wasn't able to get into call one day, and they were trying everything. You could see the swells. A brilliant painting. No Call at Call. See if you can pick it up on the internet. Kareem says the London R rate's risen again to above 1 to mark the occasion. Pubs will be reopening from 6 a.m. tomorrow. Is there anyone still out there who believes Westminster possess any credibility? There you go. My bad, Scotty. says J-Dog Gaming. Thank you, Scottie, says Catherine Raven. Did you like that? My bad, Scottie. What does that mean, J-Dog? Kareem, it's a battle for minds and the number of them, not a battle for truth, but selected measured bits to win the amygdala. The amygdala over. Tell us more about that, Grady. Have they found the wallaby loose in Stirling yet? Well, what a relief. The thing is, I'm sure I remember somebody coming into a pub and saying to me, wallaby. And I said, well, I'll have a large one, please. Wallaby? Sorry, wallaby. And what's that creature that's a bit like a kangaroo? Wallaby. Oh, thanks, I'll have a large one. Kareem, I think opening the pubs now is a huge mistake. Of course it is. Lovely Scottie, says Catherine Raven. Wasn't it fabulous? Oh, I miss Linda so much. I hope she's well. And the lovely Anna. Anna's brilliant. Anna is an international model. So there we are. You know, she's retired now, but fantastic. Away to the westward, I'm longing to be with the steamers pass open. Grady Beckel, you sitting in Canada, and you know the words to the Dark Island, where the steamers pass open and go to Tyree. Is that right? Brill, says the Archie. Beautiful, says Catherine. The song is amazing. Gives me goosebumps. Deep Purple, Heather Blooms, Fragrant and Free. Grady Beckel. It seems the tune of the Dark Island is Dr. Mackay's Farewell to Craigory. So there you are. Is that when it was written? So emotional right now. I'm wondering, when I was a wee boy, I have a memory, I couldn't tell you much about it. Sunday afternoon around 5 o'clock, and the theme tune to a programme, I think it might have been a BBC programme, was The Dark Island. And I wonder if the programme was called, the show was The Dark Island. Was that a drama? I loved listening to Linda play, says Susan. Fantastic lady. Lovely. You should hear on Tutti Frutti. Have you ever seen Tutti Frutti with Robbie Coltrane and Emma Thompson? Susie Kells. I think about her often, says Susan Forrest. Yes, a beautiful lady. Oh, Susan, miss her so much. We all love her dearly. Wish you knew where we are. Lovely, lovely, clean playing, says Alistair Campbell. Absolutely. And I let her hear, I mean, I'm no great shakes on the box, as you know, but I let her hear my little button key melodeon. She said it's a nice tone. So she liked the tone for it. I also have the piano key. Did anyone Skype tonight? 2 people. Glenn Skyped and Kareem Skyped, and they were both outstanding calls. Guys, move the chat and do some more likes, please. I cried when I had this last night. I'm away again. Oh, Catherine. J-Dog, aye, 2 people, says Sub-Zero. J-Dog, you should Skype in. I was just thinking the same, Catherine and Anna also. Thanks, Sub-Zero. That was lovely. Dark was brilliant. My late dad played that on the piano. First I've heard it for years. Isn't it beautiful? Added you on TikTok. Glenn Peacock, fantastic. Get as many people. Can everybody go to TikTok and like and follow Scottie McClue at Scottie McClue. Same on Twitter, guys, at Scottie McClue. Get liking. We need to build this. Then I can do things with the stream for you. Used to sit with a big smile on my face, Susan. Can't remember if it was Anna or Linda. There was a professional dancer as well. Now, was Linda a dancer too? She was certainly a wonderful accordionist. Anna was an international model, and she may have danced. Sorry, Scottie, going to dash for real now. Going to watch a modern comedy now called Car Share. Oh, with the wonderful Peter Kay. Fantastic. See you next stream. J-Dog, when I was down in Manchester working at Media City, a gentleman invited me. This was 20 years ago. And he said, do you want to come with us? There's a young comedian called Peter Kay. I said, I'd love to, but sadly I have to go because the show, I've got to do the show. And instead of going to see Peter Kay, I did my radio show. And it was heartbreaking because, of course, he's now just massive. And I'd love to have met him. That was Nation Radio, Scottie. Good times. Thanks for sharing. Kareem, yes. I'll bet you'd be on it. You're probably the next caller. See why everyone would be here if they only found out where Scottie is. Oh, Catherine, yes. We need to let them know. Brilliant call. Tears blinded me. Fantastic to hear her voice again. She was so nice. And Mr. Jax, he's a great character. Still playing that lilting bass line, says Grady. Dancing music. Absolutely, Grady. Grady, you're into the old fiddle music, aren't you? The Cape Breton. Wonderful. That was the very one. Was amazing to hear that again. Thank you, says Catherine. Great pick, Catherine. Catherine picked it. Yes, she did. Credit where credit's due. I was thinking of jumping out the window, but I'm wasting my time. I'm on the ground floor. What a relief. I can remember I've once fell out a window and landed in the grass. And a policeman came up and he said to me, what happened? I says, I don't know. I've just got here myself. I had a kangaroo. Oh, right, we're not going to that time, but fair enough. The amygdala is part of your brain that regulates emotion. It's a reactionary part of the brain that evolved for quickly processing threats, fight or flight, Grady. The amygdala can take precedence, I would have said, over a cerebral cortex. Wow. That's something. Are you sure it's the cortex doesn't run the lot? Fight or flight, of course, very, very basic stuff. When you get a bit shaky, you think, do I run or do I stay and fight? Old-fashioned thinking now. Been on Tinder all day looking for a muff for my chin, Scottie. Yes, a mask. So there we are. Very interesting, Grady, says Catherine. This causes emotional reactions that can be manipulated instead of people critically thinking with their prefrontal cortex. Yes, absolutely. And its executive function. Yes, indeed. Well, of course, music has an effect on the central nervous system. And that's why people go, I just love this tune. We're doing it now. Scottie chilling out, having a lovely scampi supper. Yum, yum. Gary Reid. Welcome, strength to you, I say. Guys, can we have a huge, massive joint share? Right, a share of Scottie McClue. If you wouldn't mind, that would be tremendous. So there we go. Fantastic stuff now. Oh, no. There we are. Excellent. So if we can have a massive, massive share, that would just be outstanding. Thank you. There we are. Scottie McClue, world's top talk show. And we're live now, apparently. Did you know that? How good is that? Fantastic. Of course, one needs to have information in the brain to think critically. That's why the misinformation kind of propaganda is such a hard game to beat when one is young. Yes, propaganda when one is young. And of course, that's where prejudice is learned. Scottie, step towards son, do an impression of Harold and Albert. Ooh, that's a big ask, Glenn. I'll have a sip of tea first. Hey, Harold, help me. I'm not well. Oh, God, here he goes again. You're always not well when I'm just about to go out the door. No, don't go, Harold. I think it's me heart. It's me heart, Harold. Yeah. Oh, God. I just wanted a night off for myself. Now I'm going to have to stay in and look after you, you skinny little monkey. Oh, Harold. Oh, I think it's happening. Any good? There we are. Scottie, sorry, typo error. True Grady, stepson son, Harold and Albert. Probably Kareem loved when you showed up. Aura Best and Dinky Doo, Scottie, sleep well. Ian Quinn. Fantastic quality chat. There's a lovely little video of one of it might be the Loch Seaforth cargo ship leaving Tobermory and the skipper on board. And, the skipper's talking about, and they come in so beautifully. Oh, did you ever check out about reverse gear on the Lochern and the Lochmore? Have a look at that one. And I'll tell you something else I was thinking today. We're talking about keeping the ship shape in Bristol fashion, right? Polishing the brass. The finest ship keeping I've ever witnessed was on the Clyde pilot boat, the big one, called the Cumbria. She'd followed the Gantock, I think, and she was called the Cumbria, and she was moored at Gurrock Pier. And the Clyde pilots had an office there because there was so much traffic on the Clyde, and she was the pilot cutter. She was navy blue, dark navy blue with, navy blue with a buff funnel and varnished, brown painted and varnished bright work, and her brass shone and her deck gleamed, or our brass gleamed and our deck shone. She was perfect nick, and she had a British polar in a gorgeous creature. So there we are. Does that ring a bell with you and Quinn? The wonderful Mr. McClue, dinky do. What's the only country in the world beginning with O? A country beginning with O. Right, I shall have to have a wee think about that one. There we are. Of course, I start thinking of Ormskirk, Ontario. There's one. A country beginning with O. What's the only country beginning with O? Oslo, the capital of Norway. Let's have a wee think. The only country beginning with O. Is that a trick question? Is that a wee catch out? Scottie McClue, the voice of the nation. God bless you. John Woods, dinky do. Lovely to have you with us. A country beginning with O. It's good to hear Linda again. She's a brilliant player. Betty McIver. Is she not just? So there we are. Glenn Peacock. Who's dirty old man, Glenn? What's that? What's dirty old man, says Glenn. I'll take that down. I don't quite know what that means. Glenn, what was that about? Betty, she was wonderful. Nation Radio was brilliant. Shame they never realised the potential and importance of the show. Absolutely, Catherine. Well, you see, you've got young programmers, and they're trying to get hits out there, and an old guy with a bonnet, they might not understand, you see, that Scottie McClue knows everybody, and everybody knows Scottie McClue. The Blind Greyhound and the Stripper, some classic comedy. Genius, Step to One Son, written by Galton and Simpson. Ray Galton. Fantastic. Scottie, I was going to join the Open University, but it was shut. Very, very funny. What relief. There we are. You're not quite the stand-up. Grady Beckel is an old man. Spot on, Grady. Scottie, do you remember the Carrick boat that sat at the Clyde side? John Woods, the Carrick was the RNV Art Club I was on her, the Royal Naval Voluntary Reserve, the Wavy Navy, and that was their club. And she was actually the city of Adelaide, and I believe she sat, as far as I remember, in the Irvine Maritime Museum for years. And then she's gone off to Adelaide. I think she was built around the 1840s, 1850s, and she was a clipper. I think she was a tea clipper. So there we go. Well done, Grady Beckel, oh man. Good man, Robert Scrimger. Oh man, the tip of the Saudi Peninsula. Yes, the Sultanate of Oman. Here, here, Catherine, they made a big mistake. Betty, did they not just? But they'll learn, We've got to leave it with them. Good question, Robert. Referring to Step to One Son, Scottie, you dirty old man. Sorry, Glenn, I beg your pardon. I didn't quite get it there. I took that down, but we know what you mean now. You dirty old man. Yeah, his teeth. Hey, Harold. I used to get my daughter and shout, That's Scottie on. Hurry up. She was only 14. She loved the show. Wee ones did, actually. They were told not to listen in by their parents. So what do wee ones do when they're asked not to listen in? They listen in. She especially loved the music from our Linda. Absolutely. Oh, Nation. Oh, absolutely. Wonderful. No, Linda was an absolute star. That was Anna. And Anna knew everybody in showbiz. Anna was a terrific friend of Ricky Fulton and Kate Matheson. And, saw that Kate had everything when Ricky wasn't well at the end. Scottish crime came down when McClue was in the wireless. Well, because people stayed in Waterleaf. Absolutely. The police listened as well. They loved it. That a lady once phoned, the police told me this, a lady once phoned and said, I want to complain about this cheeky man on the radio. And said, oh, what's on? Oh, we'll have a listen to that. And they were right into it. I think Ayr was where most of the puffers came from. Alistair Campbell, Greenock. You had the Stormlight and the Raylights and all that. And I was very friendly with the masters of the Invercloy and the Spartan. The Invercloy was steam, Donald Ross. And Donald was once interviewed on television. And they were asking him, did he regret that he didn't have a bigger ship? He said, no, I'm as happy as the captain of the Queen Mary. Wonderful. And they were a lovely crew. And they used to put the boat ahead and into the side and lift me on. There we are, because my grandfather was great friends with them. And they used to say, there's Neely's wee boy. Are you coming aboard? I would say, can I come aboard? And they'd say, yes, take him on, Dave. And the rest of it. And they would put the puffer into the side of the Crinan Canal, and big, strong puffer hands would reach you. And I'd say, he'd be shouting out the windows, bring him up to the wheelhouse. We'll give him a turn of the wheel. And they taught me to steer a puffer, not for the faint-hearted, by the way. Great big old chains on her. There have been some pure comedy geniuses over the years. You can't replace the originals now. We're talking about Clyde Puffers. One of the greatest comedies ever was The Vital Spark. Anybody agree with me? Patricia Routledge was in Steptoe and Son. So was Joanna Lumley. Fantastic lady. Yes, both of them. There we are. I loved Jeffree Star. So there we go. I love Jeffree Star. There's the phone ringing. Fantastic. We love when the phone goes in the middle of a broadcast. Thank you. Yes, Jeffree Star. Yes, absolutely. Now, what about, did anyone like Heidi High? That was another belter. We enjoyed that. Heidi High. Wonderful stuff. So there we go. Parahandy, yes. Parahandy was, I think, Peter McFarlane. I think that was actually the name, Peter McFarlane. I think that was done. Parahandy was kind of how it translated in Gaelic, I suppose. And the original tale is by Neil Munro. Neil Munro was from Inverary, and he was a journalist with the Glasgow Herald at the turn of the last century, Neil Munro, and he wrote the Parahandy Tales. He also wrote Doom Castle, based on Dunderav Castle. And I can remember, Ian Quinn's left us now, but I can remember the day we went to Ardrishig on the Caledonia, she called in at Inverary, and did a cruise to Dunderav Castle, which is a lovely, lovely old castle. Very difficult to look at it because the road's so dangerous. You're watching the road. So there we go. Grady Berto. I phoned Yellow Cabs in Los Angeles for a taxi. It's no here yet, says the Waterleaf. Yeah. Does the butler take your calls, Scottie? Ah, Susan, yes. The butler always takes the calls. Absolutely. So there we are. Good evening. McClue Towers. There we go. Wonderful. Susan all smiles. Absolutely. Catherine Raven. Fantastic. And Dinky Doo. Now, have we all had a share? Because I don't think I've shared a thing tonight. And have we had any new subscriptions? Anybody watching, subscribe if you haven't done so. And please don't put it off. Please don't go, I'll get around to that at some point. Actually click subscribe and click like, and click share. It's a nice wee inn, the Inverary Inn. That was a wonderful wee song. Oh, it's a nice wee inn, the Inverary. Did they not sing that? Was that sung on the Laird of Cookadens? Did somebody sing that on Thingamajig? Rab C took over as Parahandy. Gash was Sonny Jim in it. Fantastic. Now, Duncan McCrae was the original Parahandy. And then Roddy McMillan took over. Walter Carr, Wally, was Doogie the mate. Alec McAvoy was Sonny Jim, the deckhand, the boat's boy, and John Grieve, fantastic actor, John Grieve was Dan McPhail, the engineer. I've no got any spares. Oh, furtive. That's why it's, hey, McPhail. Now, come on. Give me more steam. More steam. Does he take a message? So there we are. Oh, he takes a message. Yes, he takes a message. Remember the chap through the drum who played on the movie, Hamish from the Drum Betty. We miss Hamish. He was a great lad as well. Scotland has produced some comedy geniuses. It has. Glenn Peacock, I haven't even scratched the surface yet. You wait. There's room for Scottie McClue on television in Scotland. We just need to work out the comedy part. Was Clark Tate in one too? Clark Tate, I can't believe you've said that. I was looking at a picture of the late Clark Tate today. Super guy. And he did all. Clark sadly died, but I would have loved to have had Clark produce me, because I think Clark became the comedy and light entertainment producer for STV. Was that right? There you are at the end. There you are. Absolutely, Clark Tate. He may well have been in one. And then there was Policeman in it. Do you remember the one with the barrel of whiskey? And they had the policeman guarding it, and they took the brace and bit and bored up below and emptied the barrel. Scotty, do you remember the Scottish comedy called City Lights? I do. Was that Gerald Kelly? Was it City Lights? And who else did we have in City Lights? Did we have Dave Anderson? Was Jonathan in that? Jonathan Watson? I'm trying to think. Who was in City Lights? Give me the cast of City Lights. Stephen Budd. Good evening, Scotty. Yes. Alistair Campbell. Yes, he was Scotty. Have I got it right? Was that the right one? City Lights, fantastic. Starring the late Gerard Kelly. Yes. Wonderful man. He was a great actor as well. So sad, Gerard. And I remember, I think I'm right in saying at his funeral, they passed the theatre and everybody was out applauding. Tremendous stuff. I mean, they brought so much. And Gerard played, tell you where he was fantastic. In Leaving, he doesn't appear, but he was the father. Just at the, well, he does appear at the very start, and he leaves. He's leaving. And he was the guy's father, and the guy was going to go to see if he could find his father. And that was Gerard played that. And then he played a baddie in Brookside. Did he not play a drug dealer or something in Brookside? I remember seeing the omnibus on a Saturday afternoon. I liked City Lights. Was City Lights the one where Dave Anderson was the banker? Was that right? And Jonathan worked in the bank. Clark Tate was the 1 O'Clock Gang producer, yes, with Larry. Yes, absolutely. Fantastic. And Dorothy Paul. Who else was in the 1 O'Clock Gang? It was the 1 O'Clock Gang that when the big bosses was it Sir Kenneth Clark came up from the IBA, the ITA, I beg your pardon, the Independent Television Authority, who were the authority for commercial television, started in the 50s, and Scottish television started in 57. And they said they'd had their lobster thermidor and their champagne lunch. And then said, do you have a programme we could watch? They said, yes, we've got one for you. And it was the 1 o'clock gang. And at the end of it, allegedly, one of the big bosses, it might have been Lord Hill. It might have been Lord Hill, who was originally the BBC doctor. And he turned to one of the executives at Scottish television and he said, how long have you been getting away with this? Oh, the 1 o'clock gang. How long have you been getting away with this? Fantastic. Charlie Sim was in it, yes. Larry Marshall, Jimmy Nairn, absolutely. Fantastic. The wonderful Big Jimmy. Superb stuff. These were great, great entertainers, guys, because what people don't realise is how brave they were. Working on television is a different thing to what it looks like. That's the illusion. You know what I mean? Working on television is a different thing. It's a very, very difficult thing to go live on a camera and ad lib. So there we go. Well, I suppose I'm doing it, but you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. It's a great skill. And I wish I'd been around at the very start of STV, because I may well have got a wee job then. You know, I mean, I got a job as an announcer, which was lovely. And I loved STV and loved the people, beautiful people. And they were super. I mean, Bill Brown that ran STV, Mr. Brown. Somebody was talking today and they're saying there's only one man called him Bill at a staff meeting. But I called him Bill always. It was always Bill, but very respectfully, or Sir. Long before he was knighted, I called him Sir. You know, I would say, how are you, sir? I would say things like, hello, Bill. How are you, sir? You know, and we would have a chat. Lovely man. And he was the one that when you heard Jack Mulroy and Ricky Fulton talking as Francie and Josie, doing their Francie and Josie act. Oh, the Cookardens. Oh, STV, Channel 10 hen. Yes, a flushy brune, piners out. And, you know, entertaining, that would be the stuff. Elaine C. Smith, Rav's long-suffering wife. You heard of a comedy called Two Doors Down, a Scottish comedy. I recently watched on TV. Glenn Peacock, yes, very funny. Alex Knott in it, another very fine Scottish actor. Scotty, how come the actors in River City still have their teeth? What a relief. I know what you mean. So there we are, fantastic. I wanted a part in River City playing a guy that Lenny was frightened of. Wish STV had you on late night. That would be amazing. Catherine Raven, I might actually ask them about that, to be honest with you, because I think this would be huge. I think it'd be absolutely huge. Half an hour on a Friday night, they could try it. Was there Bill Tennant on STV? Yes, Betty McIver, Bill, in the afternoons. Now, there was a great man as well, because interviewing live on television, again, it's a different game, because what happens on television, it'll be different now, probably. The lighting may have changed, but the lighting was very, very harsh. It had to be extremely bright for the early cameras. So as soon as you went live, you got this noise. It went boom, boom, like that. And that was the lights coming on. And then your eyes had to adjust and you could barely see. We had no teleprompters, so you did what was called the noddies. So you'll see early tapes of me reading news on ITV, up, down. Meanwhile, the head of the service said, today, so you had to do that. And then we got a very early form of teleprompter, which was actually a camera above our head looking down on the pages. And if there was a typo, it was dodgy. Little girl who played Rab's son, little guy who played Rab's son passed away. He was a legend. Glenn Peacock, he was indeed. He was indeed. In fact, wee Bunny, yes, I remember him, the late, great Eric Cullen, says Glenn. Yes, he was a very nice lad. So there we are. And I remember him as a young lad as well, learning at drama school. And they were in Hunting Tower, which was one of John Buchan's novel. And Eric played one of the boys in Hunting Tower. So there you go. Bill Tennant, fantastic. I remember being at Murrayfield in, I suppose it was the late 60s, and a beautiful, big, shiny Vauxhall Viscount in midnight blue came along with STV1, the company number, on the old black and white plate, black and silver plate. And in the back was Bill Tennant, and he was a superstar. That was the way we viewed it. Scottie, you must remember Late Call. I've introduced Late Call. And one of our superb announcers one night had checked down the schedule and slightly misread it. And he wouldn't mind me telling this, he slightly misread it. And he didn't really, he'd forgotten that Late Call was in between Right Now and the late night horror movie. And he said, and now it's time for your appointment with fear. So I was introducing the late night horror movie, and they'd forgotten that Late Call was coming on, and on came da 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 dee dee. And a wee minister or a priest, good evening. What kind of day have you had? Scottie, I'm running a bath while I need to relax. You do, Kareem, you must relax. Lacey Smith was also a politician. Amazing what you find at Google. Oh, Glenn, absolutely. The bedtime sermon. That's right, the East of Late Call. Because I think probably you had to, it was part of your license agreement. You had to have a certain amount of religious programs. And, you had a head of religion for ITV. All the ITVs had them. Harry Seacombe's Highway was part of it for, I think, it came from Tyne Tees. Or maybe it came from a number of the ITV stations, but I think it came from Tyne Tees. Scottie, I'll say good night. What time are you on tomorrow? Now, Kareem, I'll be on tomorrow night. And then I think nothing Sunday, and then back to I'll close in Parich on Monday. Does that suit? Does everybody mind if McClue has Sunday off? Dinky do, Kareem. Fantastic. I mind the Reverend James Curry on Late Call. Now, Jimmy, who was a good friend of mine, lovely man, and a great friend of my uncle's. And they were at school together. And great friend of my father and mother as well, because Jimmy used to compare all the Scottish fiddle concerts, and my father played the fiddle, you see? So that was the thing. Big Archie played the fiddle. Lacey Smith was also a drama teacher at an Edinburgh school. Yes, there we are. She taught my mate. There you are, Watery Leaf. Thank you, Scottie, says Kareem. Not at all, Kareem. You have a lovely soak. Have you met the whole cast of Rabsy Nisbet? I was at drama school with some of them, and Elaine was a couple of years ahead of me. So there you are. Night, Scottie, and all night, Kareem. Dinky do. Lovely to have you all with us. Fantastic. And I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I can't believe the second hour's gone. My goodness. I'm running out of tea. Will we stay on for a few minutes longer? Shall we be naughty? I remember one night I was at a radio station. I locked myself in so we could play what music we liked. Program I was going daft. He goes, Scottie, you've stayed on. And I said, yes, we're on. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'll stay on a bit and play you some tunes. Good night, Kareem. Everyone allowed a day of rest on a Sunday, Scottie. Yes, less labouring in the Lord's vineyards. Gish, Scottie, don't be so dodgy. It's 10. Oh, Grady, yes. Shall I go? I just suddenly thought we could have a few minutes longer for a laugh. Great night, thanks. Thanks, Magnus, Dinky Doo. Wonderful being with you all. I'll sing you the goodbye song. Are we ready? Haste you back, Scottie. I stay on, says Watery Leaf. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Take care, everybody, as you go. Goodbye, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, and a cheerio. Great show tonight, Scotty. Amazing. Night all. Night, Catherine. Night, Lee Fly. Here's you back, Alistair Campbell. To all of you, this is Scottie McClue saying dinky doo. See you all tomorrow night, 8 o'clock sharp for a big Saturday night special. Until then, ta-ra, lads.